Mankato East head coach on the girls' side, Amber Prange. I think that's the first time I've ever said that word. It's been Prangy all these years.
Yep.
And first, finally corrected. It's great to have you here. We've done some interviews in the past. You guys participated in Friday Night Ice a few years ago.
Yep.
I got to see the progress of your team as a AA team for the 2 previous years.
Yep.
Now you're back in single A, and guess what? You're back in the state tournament.
Yep.
And had one of the most exciting girls state games I've seen in a long time. A devastating loss to Blake, but still very promising for not just for East, but all girls hockey in Mankato. I know it wasn't the result you wanted, but tell us a little bit about the progress that you've made with these girls back when youth, and now they're succeeding at the high school level.
Yeah, I mean, I wish I could claim all responsibility, but they, as a large group, had really great coaching. Not just gameplay type coaching, but also like skating from mites all the way through 12s. So it was awesome to be able to take a chunk of them as 8th graders playing a little bit of varsity time, but then also the 8th graders that didn't play varsity, having them on our JV team. Practicing everybody together is something that we do, so that we have to play up to a higher level. Our older girls have to try to like mentor those kids too, and I think we've seen, you know, a lot of movement forward as far as the progress that even our lowest kids maybe have had.
I feel like we've seen kind of a resurgence in Mankato hockey. If you look on the boys' side, for example, at the youth, they've 3 teams playing in the state tournament this weekend.
Yeah.
It's becoming the norm on the boys and the girls' side to be in state tournaments. Where do you think that all got started, or how, explain it? You've been here, you've lived here a long enough time where you kind of can see the progress of it. What would be that one moment? Maybe I know the renovation here this year is one of those aha moments for me compared to when I was here for Friday Night Ice doing interviews. The wood paneling is gone. I mean, it's brand new. Like I didn't realize until today, the old ASA was just like tin shed around. Now they have like a beautiful entryway. They have some. It just looks way better. That's all kind of I would call it's window dressing, nice stuff.
Yeah.
But let's get down to the meat and potatoes of it. It's the shooting the pucks. It's the off season. It's the skating. Where did that change? Was there a change, or is it just more participation? What is the secret sauce, I guess, to the success?
I think some of it comes from the Mavericks as well. The men and the women. The women not necessarily as consistent as the men, but the men having a ton of success. I'm thinking like back before COVID.
Yeah.
And then they started to, almost like when the WCHA broke up for the men, is when MSU men really started on the national level having a little bit more success. So I don't know if that helps on the boys' side of things.
But it helps with participation for sure.
For sure. And on the girls' side, I just really saw a ton of value in the groups that stayed together, being able to feed 2 teams at multiple levels and not losing a ton of those girls as I got older. People not moving out, I think helps. And literally just really being committed to one another and trying to learn the game.
It's so funny is in YHH, one of the things we never think about, we just see hockey players every day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We don't ever think of the word retention. But retention's a big deal. Not losing girls, that's something that's a huge thing.
Yep.
What are some of the key, obviously playing at the right level.
Yep.
We didn't go 0-27, type of moment, type of season.
Yeah.
That's one part of retention. What are some other things that really help retain players?
I mean, I think it's the different programs that are offered over the summer too, in town, instead of having to drive to the cities.
Yeah, Coach Zimmerman was talking about the Minnesota Maid connections. He goes, and those bus trips, those trips up and back, it's harder. If you have the Unreal rink like we have now, this renovated facility, it's way more attractive to play hockey.
Absolutely. And the both programs, boys and girls, trying to make sure that they're part of those programs as well. I know Zimmy runs it for his West Side girls, and we run it for the East Side girls at younger levels to like help them feel the culture, help them, continue to build and want to be there on a 2 o'clock in the middle of the summer on a Wednesday, and again, not having to travel super far in order to work on skills. For us, we do both ice and dry land with our younger kids. And we saw a ton of success with that last year.
In season and off season?
Off season.
Off season.
Off season with the younger kids.
Okay.
On the east side, and we saw a ton of success with that. Not necessarily just shooting pucks, but also like doing off ice workouts like Zumba and
Yep.
different plyometrics that they can do at home. Just like really exposing them. So if money might be an issue, if not having the right supplies is an issue, you can stick handle with a golf ball on the
Yep.
carpet. It's not anybody can do it if you want to get better.
I like that thought. Like,
Yeah.
you can get better. You don't need ice necessarily to get
Right.
better. All right, let's talk a little bit about the growth of your program and the success of your program. You've been to the state tournament. You've lost in the first round. I believe, I'm not asking you to speak about it, I believe your team is ready to make the next step.
Mm-hmm.
You have a group coming back. I mean, one of the best groups that the school's ever had. One of your daughters is part of that.
Yep.
How excited are you for next year?
I mean, I'm excited.
Do you sit in bed at night and going, I got one of the best teams in the state next year?
I'm excited and I'm nervous. It's like a lot of pressure.
I'm nervous too.
Yeah.
There is. There's a little pressure.
Yeah, but I mean, just like not necessarily, and I've talked about this before as well, that when girls are 9th and 10th grade, we don't have to talk about what they should be doing in the neutral zone. We can just practice it. When they get to 9th and 10th grade with us, even if they're not necessarily first or second line kids, we don't have to talk about our forecheck. Now we're just going to practice it. We can
Correct.
kind of tweak it a little bit, and being able to do that at practice instead of having to teach it for an hour and then practice it. I mean, like every year the expectations are just higher and higher and higher, and the hockey IQ is higher and higher and higher. It's like, well, what are we gonna do? Like how are we gonna keep it fresh? How are we going
Yeah, that's
to
going to be the biggest challenge. for
bring
you.
them to a whole nother level when we can't just go back and do everything that we did last year or things that we've done the year before. We need to build on those much quicker so we can introduce new things. So we can get them thinking, well, try this, try that. And after that Blake game, it was like, oh, if I could go back 3 weeks and know that we didn't have enough movement with our third kid, because the defense that we were playing, the goalie that we were playing, our third girl didn't get lost.
Correct.
She didn't get lost so that the goalie is moving or that the defense are trying to track her, and now all of a sudden she's wide open and the puck. So if I could go back 3 weeks, that's what I would do. So when we start next year, we're going to be introducing a little bit more of
Another
that.
layer, right?
Yeah, because we're great at forechecking. We're great at involving our defense. We're doing scissors and stuff too in the offensive zone, but we didn't challenge their defensemen enough that our third kid was getting lost in the
Right.
weeds.
All right, so I know your brother Adam, you're a coach, he's a coach, has been a long time coach. I'd like to know, where does that come from? Do you guys both have coaching in your genes, or did you have an influence? Like, did you have a coach growing up, or did you have somebody who influenced you to become a coach? Where did that come from? Like, I had, everyone knows who Wiz Wyatt is. That was my PB coach.
Yeah.
And he was a wonderful mentor to me, and I looked up to him and said, I'd like to be like that guy
Yeah.
someday, or whatever. It doesn't necessarily have to be a coach. How did you get into it? What was that? Who was that person who might have, put the light bulb on for you?
I think for me, it's like comes from a place of leadership, I guess. Like, I'll take care of it. I'll figure it out.
Right.
But really, like, not wanting to give up the game, After college and between having kids, I played in the women's league that was in the
Wham.
cities, Wham,
There
for
you
a
go.
little bit, and then started having kids, so I couldn't, and just like wanted to get back into it. I feel like because I was missing it. It was like a piece of me that I didn't have. But my college coaches, they were super inspiring in that they gave me a chance to play for another 4 years, and then the way they taught the game too. My defensive coach, Dan Lichterman, he's in Canada somewhere now, but nobody ever taught us defense. Nobody ever taught us how to play defense. Backwards skating, I mean, it was a skill that you did, but like the reason behind it and the why, and he taught it. So being part of like summer programs with him, they used to do 15s here for the girls side of things. So being on campus with that, I was able to help coach him and pull the defense out of those groups and actually work on skills. That was probably one of the most, I don't know, things that made me feel like this is something I need to be doing. And then one of my first years coaching, head coach by myself, we lost in sections against West, and like my heart was broken for them. I was like, how
there were
can
probably
we
a couple
fix this?
tears,
like,
right?
We need to fix this for next year because this isn't happening again, like, and it was just like this recommitment kind of thing to wanting to teach the game, I feel like.
So you probably, I listened to Coach Jay Hardwick, the boys coach at Warwood on the radio today, and he says, man, winning the state championship as a skater was easy.
Yeah.
Coaching kids to it is way harder.
Sure.
Talk about that a little bit.
I mean, because their emotions are constantly up and down depending on what kind of shift they had. And, if they string together a couple really good shifts, then they might start feeling really good about themselves. And then depending on where they're at on the ice, goalie, defense, you make a mistake, everybody sees it, Or if you're a forward and you miss the net on a breakaway, everybody
sees
saw
it.
that. And now,
I never thought of it that way.
now you're feeling that pressure a little bit more. So, okay, you got to go back out there and do something simple, rebuild your confidence. But yeah, trying to manage emotions, I would say, is one of the hardest things on the bench.
I never thought of it that way.
Yeah.
All right, last thoughts here on the program. You have a number of good years still left in your coaching. Do you want to coach till your youngest is done playing?
I don't know.
Or do you think you want to coach beyond that? How long do you think you want to coach?
Yeah, I don't know.
She's sitting over here right now. You better coach me, Mom. You better coach me.
I think we butt heads a little bit more than my oldest and I, and we butt heads fairly on most days. But I don't know. I mean, I think it would be tough to give it up. I do miss out on things. I haven't seen my son wrestle.
You have not?
No.
You see some.
Not this year. I
Really?
didn't get to see him, no.
That's crazy.
And I coached volleyball in the fall, and I didn't get to see him play football. So at some point, they're going to have kids, and I'm going to be like, oh, am I going to coach other people's kids, or am I going to go watch my grandkids, or whatever that looks like. I don't know. So that's there. I couldn't say necessarily. I mean, for sure next year, because I can't just be
no
done
chance.
now.
Yeah.
But then if I was going to kind of step away, that might be an opportunity.
A good time, yeah.
Because there'll be a big turnover.
I remember when I was talking to Bruce Plan, he had like 600 wins, and the program in Hermantown is very. And I go, when are you going to stop? He goes, I have to stop before Zam and Max get there, because if not, I'll be coaching until I'm 90.
Right.
Because at some point I just gotta stop so I can go watch the other people
Right.
and enjoy the other stuff in life. So,
Yeah.
Well, fantastic. Good to talk to you again. I'm sure I'll see you a lot this summer. I know I'm going to see you a lot next year as well.
Yeah.
I expect your team to be a top 5 team next year, and how exciting for that to be.
We're excited. We've added Breck. We've added Warroad.
You read my mind. Did you read my mind?
No.
I want to know what you got. You got Breck and Warroad?
Yep. We added Holy
love that.
Angels. Northfield will be strong again. That's 2 really tough games for us typically. So we've tried to put in some more challenging competition throughout our season, so that if we're able to get to that point again, it's maybe a little bit more comfortable, And I thought we played through it really well in both the 2 state games that we lost, but we just couldn't, put the puck in the net.
Well, I'm a big fan. I know you're going to put a lot of pucks in the net next year. Amber Prange from Mankato East High School on Mankato State of the Union.